Have you ever caught your cat staring at you with an expression so cold it feels like you've just committed a crime? What if I told you that some of those moments create wounds that never truly heal? In this video, you'll discover 7 things a cat will never forgive, even when you think they've moved on. These aren't small slights. These are betrayals that reshape how your cat sees you. Knowing this can save your relationship from the silent resentment building right now behind those eyes. And the last one is something almost no cat owner ever suspects is happening. If you love cats and want to understand what's really going on in their minds, tap like and subscribe because we're about to go deep into feline psychology. Now stay with me as we break this down. Number 7 is something most cat owners do without hesitation, thinking it's perfectly normal. Picking your cat up and forcing affection. You see your cat minding their own business, and you reach down, scoop them up, and pull them close. Your cat goes rigid, their ears flatten slightly, their body tenses. You don't see it because you're too wrapped up in the moment, but that moment is a violation. Cats are territorial creatures who experience the world through control. When you take away their ability to choose, you take away their sense of safety. A hand that swoops from above is not a gesture of love in cat language. It's a seizure. It's a loss of agency. Every time you pick up your cat without consent, you're teaching them that their boundaries don't matter. Some cats tolerate it. The smart ones remember it. Over time, something shifts. Your cat stops jumping onto your lap. They leave the room when you approach. They watch you with suspicion instead of affection. And you never connect it back to those moments when you decided their comfort was less important than yours. The fix seems almost too simple, but it works. Let your cat come to you. When they do, ask permission before touching. Watch for the slow blink, the forward ears, the relaxed whiskers. Those are invitations. When they arch their head toward your hand, that's consent. When they pull away, that's a boundary. Respect it. Cats remember which humans listen and which humans don't. The ones who listen get something precious. The ones who don't get distance that grows wider every single day. Number 6 cuts deeper than most owners realize. Yelling at your cat. A cat knocks something off the table. You shout. Your voice echoes through the apartment. Your cat bolts from the room, and you tell yourself they've learned their lesson. They haven't learned anything except that you're dangerous. Here's what happens in a cat's mind when you yell. Their nervous system floods with stress chemicals. They're not thinking about the broken glass. They're thinking about survival. The person they depend on just became a threat. Unlike dogs, cats don't have the pack mentality that makes them forgive loud corrections. Cats are solitary hunters. In their world, loudness means predators. Loudness means death. When you scream, you're not correcting behavior. You're traumatizing them. And that trauma builds a wall. Your cat becomes more cautious around you. They hide more. They interact less. Some cats develop behavioral issues that seem random to you but are actually direct responses to living with someone unpredictable and loud. The saddest part? Your cat doesn't show anger. Cats don't express rage the way you do. Instead, they withdraw. They refuse to sit near you. They ignore your calls. They use the litter box while staring at you with the most profoundly indifferent expression you've ever seen. That's not forgetting. That's remembering every moment you made them afraid. Calm voices aren't just better at teaching cats. They're the only way to maintain a relationship with a creature this sensitive. When you speak softly, you're telling your cat that you're a safe place. When you yell, you're confirming their deepest fear. Number 5 is one of the most overlooked sources of resentment in cats. Ignoring your cat's communication. Your cat walks into the room and meows at you. You're scrolling your phone. They meow again, louder. You don't look up. They sit in front of your screen, and you move around them. What you don't realize is that your cat was trying to tell you something important. Maybe they wanted to play. Maybe their water bowl was empty. Maybe they sensed something wrong with your mood and wanted to check on you. You'll never know because you didn't listen. Cats are not needy creatures who demand constant attention like some other pets. When a cat seeks you out and communicates with you, it's meaningful. It's intentional. They're choosing to interact. And when you ignore that choice, something registers in their mind. They learn that you don't value their thoughts. They learn that their voice doesn't matter in this house. Slowly, your cat stops trying. The meows become fewer. The attempts to engage disappear. You've created a cat who exists in the same space as you but no longer tries to connect. And here's where it gets really painful. One day you'll want their attention and you won't be able to get it. You'll call them and they'll stare through you. You'll try to pet them and they'll walk away. You'll have trained them through indifference to be indifferent back. The fix requires something simple but not easy. When your cat communicates, pause. Look at them. Try to understand what they're saying. Even if you can't fulfill their request, acknowledge it. A simple, "I see you," goes further than you'd ever believe. Cats need to know they've been heard. When they feel heard, they keep showing up. They keep trying. They keep loving. Number 4 is something that happens in millions of homes every single day: forcing your cat to interact with guests. Your friends come over and you announce proudly, "Don't worry, my cat is friendly." Then you spend the next hour trying to coax your cat out, picking them up when they hide, presenting them like a stuffed animal for your guests to admire and pet. Your cat hates every second of this. Here's the thing that most people miss about cats. Their home is their sanctuary. Their territory is sacred. When strangers invade that space, it's stressful. When you force your cat to greet those strangers despite their obvious discomfort, you're telling them that your social convenience matters more than their well-being. That their need to feel safe in their own home is less important than you looking good in front of your friends. Cats have long memories for these violations. They start to see you differently. You become the person who betrays them, who puts them in uncomfortable situations, who laughs when they're clearly distressed. Some cats develop social anxiety that lasts for years. Others become aggressive toward guests as a defensive mechanism. All of them lose a little bit of trust in you every single time. The healthier approach is almost counterintuitive. When guests arrive, let your cat disappear. Give them access to a quiet room where they can hide. Tell your friends that if your cat wants to come out, they will. Most cats will eventually emerge on their own terms. The ones who do will be calm and confident instead of stressed and resentful. Your relationship with your cat matters infinitely more than impressing people who won't remember your visit next month. Number 3 is rooted in something primal that most owners don't understand: having an inconsistent feeding schedule. Your cat might get fed at 7 in the morning on Monday, 8 on Tuesday, 6 on Wednesday. Sometimes you forget lunch entirely. Sometimes you feed them twice in an hour because you weren't paying attention. This isn't chaos to you, it's just life. To your cat, it's terrifying. Cats are creatures who thrive on ritual and predictability. In the wild, they hunt at specific times, follow specific patterns. In your home, feeding time is the anchor that holds their entire emotional world together. When the schedule becomes random, your cat lives in a constant state of low-level anxiety. Will food come? When will food come? Should they worry? The stress response that activates when food is unpredictable damages their digestive system, their mental health, and their ability to trust you. Some cats start overeating when food finally does come because they've learned that scarcity might return. Others become withdrawn. Many develop behavioral problems that seem unrelated but are actually direct manifestations of chronic stress. The cruelest part is that your cat can't tell you what's wrong. They can only suffer quietly, and the resentment builds because you're the one creating the instability they're suffering from. A consistent schedule might be the single most important gift you can give your cat. The same time every morning. The same time every evening. Feed them, leave the bowl clean, and create a rhythm they can depend on. Cats remember which humans provide safety through consistency. They remember which ones create chaos. Number 2 is more subtle than the others, but equally damaging. Violating your cat's space without permission. Your cat is sleeping peacefully in their favorite spot. You walk by and pet them without warning. They don't ask for it. They weren't inviting touch. You just decided they needed it. Your cat wakes startled, slightly irritated, and tolerates it because they have no choice. This happens dozens of times. Your cat starts anticipating unwanted touch. They stop sleeping in their favorite spots because you've made those places unsafe. They sleep in hidden spots where they can see you coming. They've learned that relaxation is dangerous because it leaves them vulnerable to unwanted contact. Many cats develop hypersensitivity to being touched, where their skin actually becomes painful to the touch because they're in a constant state of defensive tension. Others become aggressive, lashing out because they're always expecting an invasion. Your cat isn't being moody or difficult. They're responding to being disrespected in the place that should be safest. Here's what most people get wrong about cats. Cats show love differently than we expect. A cat's affection isn't measured in how much they want to be touched. It's measured in how much they want to be near you. A cat lying across the room while you read is showing you something profound. They're telling you they trust the space you share. They're safe with you even if they're not being touched. That's not less love, that's actually more trust. When you learn to read these signals and respect them, something magical happens. Your cat actually seeks you out more because they've learned that being near you is consistently safe. And now, the reason I've been building toward, the one that will change how you see your cat forever. Number one is something almost no cat owner ever considers, but it's the foundation of every conflict you have with your cat. Your cat thinks you've rejected them. Here's what I mean. When your cat comes into your life, especially as a kitten, they bond with you in a very specific way. They view you as their mother. They view you as their safety. They view you as their source of everything that matters. Every interaction you have with them either reinforces that bond or damages it. When you pick them up against their will, you're rejecting their autonomy. When you yell, you're rejecting their safety. When you ignore them, you're rejecting their existence. When you violate their space, you're rejecting their boundaries. Every single one of these moments registers in their mind as a small rejection. And cats don't forgive rejection the way humans do. When a cat feels rejected by their human, it's not something they get over. It's something they incorporate into their understanding of who you are. They become a cat who was rejected by their human. That becomes their identity. The tragedy is that you usually don't realize what's happened until it's nearly impossible to undo. You have a cat who won't come near you. You have a cat who hisses when you try to help them. You have a cat who seems to hate you, and you can't figure out why. You'll search the internet for behavior solutions. You'll try new litter boxes and toys and treats. You'll do everything except address the core issue, which is that your cat has concluded you don't actually want them the way they want you. When you understand this one thing, everything changes. Every interaction becomes a choice. Every moment is an opportunity to show your cat that they matter, that their boundaries matter, that their feelings matter. When you start making those choices, something remarkable happens. Your cat starts coming back. Not immediately. Cats don't forgive like that. But gradually, they test the waters. They inch closer. They watch you more carefully. And slowly, they begin to believe again that maybe, just maybe, you're someone who actually respects them. That's when the real relationship begins. That's when you have a cat who doesn't just tolerate you but chooses you, who doesn't just exist in your home but actually loves it, who doesn't just survive in your presence but truly thrives. Your cat may forgive a lot over time, but they never forget how you made them feel. When you choose respect, boundaries, and consistent presence, you protect something infinitely precious. You protect a bond that can't be bought with treats or toys. You protect the trust of a creature who decided to share their life with you. Which of these moments do you recognize in your own relationship with your cat? Think about it. And if this changed how you see your cat, consider subscribing because we dive deep into the hidden language between cats and their humans. Because those conversations are where the real story lies. Take care of them. Every choice is a conversation.